we have discussed about in yesterday's class. I talked about what is front controller, and what is the difference between controller and front controller. Did we discuss those things, guys? Did we discuss those points, guys? Come on. Yes. I think yesterday we have seen differences between controller and front controller also. Tell me what is front controller, guys? Front controller is a special web component of web application. What, guys? Web application that traps either all requests or multiple requests, applies common system services, and performs what? And performs what? What management, guys? Yeah, action management. What is that? Model management, view management, lastly navigation management. What do you mean by action management? Decides which request should go to which Java class. I mean to say which action class. Okay, guys. Now, what do you mean by view management? Decides which action class generated result should go to which JSP. What do you mean by navigation? All things together is called navigation management. What do you mean by model management? Where to store received inputs, where to store generated output, in which scope they should be stored, will be decided by whom? Will be decided by whom, guys? Come on. Will be decided by whom? Model management. All things together we call as navigation management. Okay. Now tell me, boss. When we can develop MVC architecture, MVC2 architecture or MVC architecture? MVC architecture based web application having front controller design pattern, having front controller design pattern. When we can develop MVC2 architecture based web application having front controller design pattern by using Servlet JSP technologies directly. Come on, directly. Why should we learn? Why should we learn web application frameworks like Struts, Spring MVC, JSF, and etc.? Why should we learn? Why should we learn web application frameworks like what? Struts, Spring MVC, JSF, and etc.? Are you listening, boss? Okay. Now listen. Answer, guys. If you use if you use Servlet, JSP technologies directly to develop MVC2 architecture, and front controller DP based web applications. Front controller DP based web application. Okay. The programmer needs to perform multiple operations. What guys? Multiple operations manually, and they are programmer needs to perform multiple operations manually, and they are what's the first one, guys? Yeah, multiple operations manually. Yeah, all the logics of all the layers should be developed manually by programmers. Yeah, it's a burden, guys. All the logics of all the layers should be developed by the programmer manually, boss. Next one is, guys, should perform action management, model management, okay, view management manually. Come on. Manually. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Yes. System services should be developed explicitly in order to apply on trapped all requests or multiple requests. Trapped all requests or multiple requests. Trapped all requests or multiple requests, guys. Next one. System services should be developed explicitly. Must and should be developed explicitly. Next one. Okay. Flow of execution among the component should be taken care among the components. Indirectly, what, guys? Navigation management, guys. Should be taken care by the programmers. Should be taken care of the programmers explicitly. Must and should be taken care by the programmers explicitly. Indirectly, navigation management should be taken care. Okay, should remember and implement. MVC2 rules, principles explicitly. Okay, guys. So, I think it's not like that we cannot develop MVC2 architecture or front controller DP based Java web application manually by using Servlet JSP technologies, guys. But so many things we should remember, boss. You should know inch and inch of entire architecture, entire design pattern. Entire architecture and what? Entire design pattern. Are you getting my point, guys? Come on. Okay. It's something like this, guys. Constructing the house on our own, purchasing open land, constructing house on our own. We should only do common activities. We should only do application specific activities. Everything should be taken care by programmer. Common activities means what? Permission from government, borewell, compound wall, okay, pillars, foundation, roofing, ceiling, staircases, okay, walls construction. All these are common activities. Specific activities, gardening, vastu, interior designing, these are called specific activities. Are you listening, guys? These are called specific activities. These are literally solidly called as what? Are you getting my point, guys? Should remember and implement MVC to architecture. Here, programmers should develop both common logics and application specific logics of web application development. Application specific logics of web application development. Okay. Which improves the burden on the programmer. Which improves the burden on the programmers. Everyone got the clarity, boss? Yes, guys. Now listen. What is the solution? The solution is working with the frameworks, guys. Working with the frameworks is like going to real estate company, purchasing ready-made villa. Going to real estate company, purchasing ready-made flat. Tell me what? Now builder will take care of common activities. As a developer, we have to worry about only application specific logics. Are you listening my statement, guys? As a developer, we should take care of only application specific logic, guys. If we develop Java web application using web application frameworks like struts, comma, Spring MVC, then programmer should take care of only application specific logics. Okay. Because frameworks because the framework will take care of the common logics. Will take care of the common logics. Because the framework will take care of the common logics. Are you listening my statement, boss? Common logics. That means there is no boilerplate code. That means there is no boilerplate code problem. There is no boilerplate code problem. Right, guys. Now listen. What are those frameworks, guys? Web application frameworks are what? Java web application frameworks. Struts was outdated legacy. Already have given from Apache company. JSF. JSF. Initially from Sun Microsystem. Now Akshay Bhuse, EasyB is a web application framework. Are push him into river. Urgently push him. Sorry, don't waste river water. Urgently, if any neighbor is there for him, push him into drainage. Dirty fellow. Such a senior student of Amirpet. I think from day one of online classes, I am taking your name. Okay, Sun Microsystem. Now it is acquired by Arkell Corporation. Initially, I used to scold you like anything. And now I thought you have become matured. No, 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 you have not. Spring MVC. Spring MVC or Spring Boot MVC. Both are one and the same, guys. From interface 21. Yes, interface 21 or pivotal company. Pivotal team. Next, ADF, Application Development Framework from Arkell Corporation. Webwork. Webwork. Webwork from Open Symphony. Company name is Open Symphony, boss. Company name is Open Symphony. And etc. Many are there. Many are there. But you don't believe market leader is Spring MVC. Market leader is Spring MVC. After that, bit popularity is there for JSF. After that, bit popularity is there JSF. So this is legacy, guys. Legacy outdated. That's what I say. We are in the third generation of frameworks, guys. Java frameworks are started with struts. Actually, not struts also. I will tell the story. Before arrival of struts, company used to have company specific frameworks, guys. IBM specific web application framework. XYZ company specific framework. Are every company having their own framework and making programmers to migrate to that framework whenever they join in company is becoming headache. At that time, Struts came as a common framework to develop the web applications. Struts has become huge hit. Okay, but there are some problems with the Struts. Then third generation frameworks came like Spring MVC, JSF kind of thing. Actually, you know one thing, when Struts gone down, plop, about to plop, everyone thought that JSF will become market leader. Why? Because it's from Arkell Corporation. Arkell Corporation has acquired Sun Microsystem, taken entire Java into control. Everyone thought that they will push JSF. But unfortunately, since Spring was doing well in other modules, so that's why they have automatically Spring MVC got picked up. The moment Struts gone. You don't believe in companies I used to develop Struts and Spring integration projects, guys. Struts and Spring integration projects. But though Spring MVC is there in Spring framework, initial day Spring is used underutilized. Only in service and DAO layers, people used to use Spring. Entire front end they used to develop using Struts. That's why Struts Spring integration I have seen. Okay, but later, once Struts gone down, people realize that Spring itself having one more framework called what? MVC. Why don't you entertain like this? So they entertained, they got the success. That's why again JSF is number 2 position only. Again JSF is number 2 position only. Come on. When CM dies, everyone thinks that Deputy CM. Okay, as of now, there is no commutator for Spring Boss. Spring commutator is Spring Boot only. Spring commutator is Spring Boot, which is again based on Spring. So as of now, no replacement, no alternate, no commutator for Spring. Spring has grown in such a fashion, no commutator is thinking about creating alternate. Single framework doing multiple things. Okay, initially everyone thought that, okay, Django framework make you lit computation to Spring framework, guys. But Python is proved very bad security wise in application development, because Python is based on, sorry, Django, nothing but Django. D silent, guys, D silent. Django is based on Python. Okay, same security breaches are continued. So that's why before stepping into distributed application, enterprise application, in web application development itself, Django is utter flop. Django is utter flop. That's why observe, people talks about Python utilization in IoT, Python utilization in what, data science, especially machine learning and what, deep learning. Why? Because mathematical APIs are very strong. Statical APIs are very strong in Python compared to Java. Our APIs means libraries. Library means packages with the classes and methods. One day our Java people also will improvise it, and Java will be there even in machine learning and what, deep learning, and Java will also be there in Internet of Things. Already Java entered into Internet of Things, guys. Okay, Java is not that much preferred in machine learning and deep learning. Don't worry, by Java 20 comes, Java even enters into what, machine learning and deep learning, and at that time Python will be nullified in the market. Again, Java takes full control on what, standalone application development, web application development. Maybe in web application development, bit computation will be there from what, JavaScript based web application development. Anyhow, JavaScript is also Java flavor internally. PHP will be gone. 2020 PHP will be gone, guys. Okay, .NET also will not be there by 2020, sorry, 2030 I'm talking. 2030 .NET also will not be there. So .NET, PHP are in their last days. Last days of their breathing, boss. Any day they may stop breathing. Okay, guys. No, old websites will run on PHP, boss, but new websites won't come on PHP. Small scale website on JavaScript, large scale and medium scale websites on Java. Why JavaScript, you know? Okay, if you develop, if for example, you take React Native kind of thing, if you use, boss, at a time you can develop web application and mobile application. In single attempt, we can complete both web application and mobile application, React Native kind of thing. So that's the reason JavaScript will be there in what, small scale application development, no doubt in that. So future is only two things. One is Java, other one is JavaScript. JavaScript is also under control of Sun Microsystem or Oracle Corporation. Don't worry. Okay, this is future. If you don't believe me, record my voice or remember my voice. In the 2030, you remember my name. You remember my name. Okay. Whatever happening in on Python, that is a purely hype. You talk to any working friends. Yeah, I'm saying now UI technologies are really doing well compared to PHP and .NET. So .NET and PHP are breathing their last days, as I said. Now, any day they may stop breathing. Fine. That's why observe. Most of the .NET developers are moving to UI technologies. Or they're trying to promote themselves as .NET full stack developer. So that means they are focusing more on UI. They are focusing more on UI, guys. Okay. Right. Nowadays, data scientists also reduced their salaries. That is very small domain. Data science is not a big domain. That is very small domain, less opportunities. Okay. Yes, big data is also part of data science, na? Okay, big data is also part of data science. It's a small part. It's a small part of data science. Yes, okay. See, Python hype. Python hype. It's like a party, boss. Python is like Aam Aadmi party. Because when Aam Aadmi party started, so much hype is created. Alternates have come for regular politics. Understanding? AI is also part of data science. Yes, one more Sachin Kumar is confirming. Everyone read it. It's a good language, but not competitor to Java, not a replacement to Java. That is what I'm trying to say. Anyhow, I need not to tell all these things in Spring MVC class because you decided to build your career in Java. But still, these freshers, guys, freshers. Java takes time to learn. Python is easy to learn. Which is easy, guys? In what way easy? I'm not getting it. If it is the case, JavaScript is also easy to learn. In JavaScript, also data types are not there. Array, it's you are worried about easiness. You are worried about where it is being utilized. What kind of projects it is developing. That you have to bother about that one or not. Okay. So number one, number two. Right, boss? Now listen. Advantages of advantages of developing Java web applications. Java web applications using MVC2 architecture. Using MVC2 architecture. Right, guys. Advantages of developing Java web application using what? MVC2 architecture, guys. Shall we go? Sorry, not MVC2 architecture. Using Java web application frameworks. Frameworks. Right. Ajit, my suggestion is first full stack developer, then big data. Because without full stack, it's really not recommended to go for big data. First enjoy full stack development, then go for big data. Number one, guys. Number one, gives ready-made front controller servlets. Front controller servlets. Gives ready-made front controller servlet taking care of action management, view management, okay, model management, and navigation management. Navigation management. Is that clear, guys? B. Ready-made front controller servlet, guys. What they are? Dispatcher servlet in case of Spring MVC. Spring MVC gives dispatcher servlet. Next, faces servlet in case of JSF. Ready-made boss. Faces servlet. Next, action servlet in case of struts. In case of struts, action servlet and etc. We don't develop them, they are ready-made ones. They are readily available. They are readily available. What is second one, guys? Certain middleware services, certain system services will be applied automatically by ready-made front controller servlet. Ready-made front controller servlet after trapping all our multiple requests. All are multiple requests. Everyone understood my point, boss? See, all are multiple requests, guys. Certain system services will be applied automatically by ready-made front controllers are led by trapping all our multiple requests, guys. Next, no need of implementing action, comma, navigation, comma, view, comma, what is this? Model managements manually. Manually. Model managements manually. Are you listening my statement, boss? Okay. Manually. Right. Who will take care? Front controller will take care all this stuff. Next. Yeah. No need of remembering and implementing. No need of remembering and implementing MVC2 rules or principles. The ready-made front controller servlet takes care of those logics, automatically. Takes care of those logics automatically. Yes. Takes care of those principles, guys. Okay. Those principles. Next, guys. Avoids boilerplate code. Avoids boilerplate code. Avoids boilerplate code, guys. And makes the programmer to take care of only application specific logics. To take care of only application specific logics. Next. Okay, guys. Ravi, these are not MVC framework. I'm talking. These are common points for all frameworks, guys. All web application framework. You should realize that. Ravi, I didn't talk about Spring MVC right now here. Hmm. These are the common comments. Right. APIs of these frameworks. APIs of these frameworks are designed. APIs of these frameworks are designed based on real world use cases. Based on what, guys? Based on real world use cases. Are you getting my point, boss? Simply based on real world use cases. So, what happens? Real world use cases. So I said, we can solve double posting problem with 2-3 lines of code. Instead of writing 400-500 lines of code, we can sort out double posting problem very easily. Recollect all those points, guys. So application development becomes easy. Yes. GH gives more productivity, compared to technologies based web application. Okay. Technologies based web application development. H. Technologies based web application development. No need of having strong knowledge of strong knowledge of no need of having strong knowledge of MVC2 architecture and front controller DP. Front controller DP. Front controller DP because they are already implemented. They are already implemented. Come on, come on. I think you enjoyed. Whatever problems are there with the technology, they have been sorted out, and extra advantages also given, boss. They have been sorted out and additional advantages also given. Are you understanding? They have been sorted out and extra advantages also given. Right, boss. Now listen. Note. Spring MVC. Spring MVC or Spring Boot MVC. Spring Boot MVC is a module of Spring Framework. Module of Spring Boot Framework. Okay, is a module or sub frameworks also, you can say. Already is a framework, guys. Inside that sub framework, Spring or Spring Boot framework that allows what, guys? That allows to develop, that allows to develop MVC2 architecture based web applications. MVC2 architecture based web applications What architecture, guys? That allows us to develop MVC2 architecture based web applications. MVC2 architecture based web applications. Are you listening my statement, boss? In this process, we can integrate all other modules with all other modules of Spring or Spring Boot with come on guys, Spring or Spring Boot with Spring MVC application, Spring MVC web application. Right, guys. Now tell me, guys, four approaches of developing Spring MVC web applications. Yes, guys, Spring MVC web application. Tell me, guys, uh, what is the best way of constructing house? Option number one, option number two, na? Option number two. Why? You can go to office, you can do your daily activity, but still house construction will be done. At the same time, we have a control on application specific logics also. Yeah, using XML driven configurations. Legacy, guys. Legacy outdated. We will see maximum one application on it. Maximum how many applications we study, guys? Only one. Only one. Okay, because I am not going to waste my time. Using annotation driven configuration. Annotation driven configurations. Okay. Annotation driven configuration. Okay. Good in maintenance projects. Good in maintenance projects. See, come on, guys. Using 100% code driven configurations. Using 100% code driven configurations. Using 100% code driven configuration. Next, using Spring Boot. Best and hot cake. Best and hot cake. Yes, guys. What are the popular things, guys? Okay, all new projects are happening in Spring Boot only, guys. But 70% of Java projects are maintenance projects. They are there in what? XML plus annotations. Yes, these are there in what? Spring Boot environment. Everyone got the clarity? Yes, we are going to spend maximum more time on these two approaches. Here one to application, here one to application. That's it. But maximum time will be spending on these two things. Maximum time will be spending on these two things. Enjoyed my point, guys? Right, guys. Now tell me, in first two approaches, okay. Sir, servlet is ready-made servlet acting as a front controller. Servlet is ready-made servlet acting as a front controller. Come on. Its configuration in web.xml is mandatory or optional, boss? A comma B. In C comma D, we cannot think about going for web.xml. Why? That is 100% code driven, guys. They're different thought process. There we have to think about different thought process. Come on. Because no XML in those things. In first two approaches, A comma B approaches, we need to configure front controller, Spring MVC front controller servlet, Spring MVC front controller servlet in web.xml, even though it is even even though it is ready-made servlet component. Yeah, tell me guys, so far, if servlet is ready-made, you don't configure a servlet must be configured with container, whether it is predefined or user defined. Approach may be different. Approach may be different. Come on. Okay, tell me how many approaches are there? Different approaches of servlet configuration, boss. Different approaches of servlet configurations. Don't switch on your cameras. Servlet component configuration. Yes, guys. Using declarative approach. Okay, declarative approach. I'm going to remove the people who are switching on the cameras, guys. I don't know why. Declarative approach. Web.xml. B. Annotation approach. C. What approach, guys? Annotation approach. @ web servlet. @web servlet. Next. Okay. What is this? Programmatic approach. In servlet classes, I have taken special class. So programmatic approach, also called dynamic registration of servlet. Dynamic registration of servlet. Declarative approach, guys. What is what? Number one, declarative approach for predefined servlet components. Predefined servlet components and XML configurations are allowed. Okay. For user-defined servlet components and XML configurations are not allowed. XML configurations are not allowed. Done. Programmatic approach, guys. For predefined only. Predefined. Can we add annotations by opening source code of predefined classes? Here also we cannot. Okay. Suppose application says don't use XML. Can we think about using web.xml? When B option, A option is not applicable, then only think about this approach. Programmatic approach means through Java code, guys. For predefined servlet components, where XML configurations are not allowed. XML configurations are not allowed. Not allowed. Are not allowed. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Moreover, moreover, and moreover, moreover, where we cannot apply, annotations. Annotations by opening the source code of by opening the source code of by opening the source code of ready-made servlets. Then only we have to think about going for this one, boss. I think you pakka enjoyed my point, boss. Pakka enjoyed my point, boss. Come on. A declarative approach using web.xml. B annotation approach using @web servlet. C programmatic approach or dynamic registration of servlet. Programmatic approach or dynamic registration of servlet.